Okay, we are back on the internet. Now, Senator Sanders, Chris R. asks you, what is the future of independent parties? Yes, we had Angus King here last week. He's an independent, you're an independent, but there are precious few.
There are. I am the longest serving independent in American congressional history, and proud of that.
And you are not too old to be president. I mean, I was speaking partly to you with that little...
Well, thank you.
No, we got to get over that prejudice, or else you're dead before you start.
Well, I think, there is growing frustration with the two-party system, and more and more people want to look outside of the system. But using the word independent is not good enough. All that says, you're not a Democrat and Republican, but what are you? What I think we need to do is see the growth of a progressive, independent movement in this country. Where people are going to focus on the needs of working families and those people who are really hurting economically.
Okay, but we got to get over that age thing.
Yeah, we do.
I know you're poo-pooing that, but I'm telling you.
No, I can't believe Senator Sanders and Governor Brown aren't mentioned more. It's always Martin O'Malley, the young governor.
But that's why.
I know.
It's a terrible prejudice.
They shouldn't be afraid, though, to get in the arena, to just give it a run.
Right.
I mean, why not?
You know who kind of poisoned the well was St. Reagan. He was old and he lost his marbles in office, so everybody's afraid it's going to happen.
Republicans nominate Dole, they nominate McCain. You could see the Democrats maybe doing Brown or Sanders.
Right, okay. Okay, this is for you, Linda. Bam H asks, what do you think the poor in this country really need? Money? Here, you write him back yourself, because that's a hell of a question.
But I'm going to say this. What we need more than anything is for people to look at us and say thank you instead of fuck you.
Yeah, boy.
It comes down to, you can ask me what I need, you can ask me what I want. There's 45 million of us. There is no easy answer. The answer is to start saying, oh my God, there's 45 million of you. How did we screw it up this bad? That's the answer. So, what do we really need? I don't know. Leadership that actually pays attention, has actual solutions, possibly a cultural shift that leads to work being valued.
More than like a few. I mean, the number of people who actually talk about the poor, I can name on less than one hand. He's one of them.
Yeah, I was going to say we got like 2 sitting at the table at least that I know off the top of my head.
Senator Warren.
Yep.
Is another one.
Now, Paul Ryan has as well.
Kucinich, but
he has. And you know what?
Paul Ryan?
He took a whole... So Paul Ryan loses in 2012, and he takes this huge poverty tour in 2013, trying to change his profile. He's trying to get the party moving in that direction. I'm not saying it's going to be successful or not, but he's certainly talking about it.
Well, look, but Paul Ryan's got the opportunity grant, right? And that's essentially life coaching for poor people, which is fantastic if you're one of the minority of poor people who needs life coaching. But sweetheart, I'm busy at work, and I don't really, I don't have time to go to a resume class.
Yeah.
In all due respect to Paul Ryan, he is chairman of the Budget Committee, which made massive cuts in Medicaid and in food stamps and in program after program that low-income people desperately need.
And I'll say this too, I have yet to see anybody on either side of the aisle talk about these issues or even not talk about them where I thought they were being legitimately mean-spirited. It's people who really have just kind of a crazy way of helping.
Clueless.
But this is the same problem like Orwell writes about it in Down and Out in Paris and London, right? It's the same thing where we just go, oh, well, if only poor people would stop doing X and Y and Z, and if we can somehow socially engineer that to happen, then poverty goes away. Well, let me tell you, somebody's always going to have to scrub the toilets around here. It's never going to end. Like, we're always going to need a service industry. How do we make those people's lives tolerable?
The one thing you do is have a minimum wage, which is a living wage.
Right.
I just can't believe the minimum wage didn't become a big issue this year. I mean, it's just kept fading. You had Ebola and ISIS creep up as the big issues. Democrats had some momentum on the minimum wage in the spring.
Listen, 5 people got sick that one time. We should have all stopped and paid attention.
Ebola let Mexican ISIS in with Ebola, minimum wage. Lisa Kudrow, what was the hardest part about bringing back the comeback?
No, I love that question.
Yeah. Well, I didn't ask it. Mikey asks it.
Yeah. Oh, Mikey. I know Mikey.
Yeah, talk to him.
I think I do. But the hardest part was, the scariest part was that the fans of the show are pretty devoted, so you just really didn't want to let them down.
Right.
That was tough. But I think we did a good job. But you'll see. Looking at you? Yeah. No.
When does it start?
Sunday.
Oh,
Sunday night.
Oh, this Sunday night.
You'll see. You'll like it.
What a coincidence that you're on right before your show goes on the air.
Right, no.
Wow, that is spooky. That is spooky. I don't know how that's just so weird. Okay. Could refusing to compromise with Republicans actually enhance President Obama's legacy? I don't know what that means.
Well, that's the big question on immigration, right? Does he do executive action or not?
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately his legacy will be defined by what are the policies he put in place and what were the effects of those policies. And as long as Republicans control Congress, which they will for the remainder of the time that he is president, they have control in some way over what policies do or don't get enacted. So I think if he has other things he wants to add to the list of policies that are part of his legacy, for whether you think that's a good thing or not, he's got to work with these Republicans in Congress.
It does
seems like
seem
try to
this week that they were playing this little game of chicken after the election where he was saying, I want to pass something on immigration, and I hope you want to help me in the Congress, because if you don't do it, I'm going to do executive action. And then John Boehner was like, well, if you do executive action, somebody could get impeached.
I'm wondering to what extent it's possible, instead of these kind of big comprehensive bills, if there are like smaller pieces of legislation that are able to get through both chambers and get to the president's desk. But also bear in mind, just because Republicans took the Senate, they don't have 60 votes in the Senate. So now all those people that hated the filibuster a week ago are now going to love the filibuster, and all the people that loved the filibuster a week ago are about to hate it. So we're about to go through that whole fun transition. So we may ultimately not see a whole lot happen out of Washington in the next few years.
If he stops cooperating, do we get a Surgeon General?
Surgeon General would be nice. Attorney General would be nice.
That'd be great.
Any
Let's
kind
do
of
that.
general would be good.
Let's get a general.
Okay, Lisa, we'll give you the last question. Hunter D., on the TV show Scandal, you played a congresswoman and made a powerful speech on sexism.
Uh-huh.
Do you-
Yeah, that's right.
What is your favorite color? No. Do you feel that the Republican war on women is still an important issue to voters?
The Republican war on women?
That's what it says. Do you feel that the Republican war on women is still an important issue to voters?
There's a Republican war on women? Which part of being a woman?
Well, I think he's referring back to, now this is something the Republicans did improve upon, I must say. Back in 2010, they were the legitimate rape people. They could not stop talking about ladies' private parts.
Yeah.
And this time they got the memo, I guess, from Karl Rove, who said, you know what, just ixnay on talking about women's and abortion. We'd stop with, we're the Republicans. We want to fuck the living. All right, I gotta go. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.